check it real quick. All right, shalom with the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out to prophesy the downfall and destruction of this wicked and sinful kingdom called America, which is other three cities, and to uplift the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. Before we go any further, I give all praise, honor, and glory to Heavenly Father's only begotten Son, Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Kakwadash, Noble Hans Apostle Ellsbury Millstone, and shalom to the elect. All right, we're just going to jump right on into it. The brothers don't have anything, any articles, anything they want to talk about, bring up before we just dive into the scriptures, anything that happened over the week, you know?
I was saying Isaiah 58 and 1.
Hey, let's get it. Isaiah 58 and 1. That's the job of a prophet. The true prophets, man. It's not to debate. It's not to not to go back and forth. All right, with these different podcasts and things of that nature. No, our job is to go out here and show Jake where they're going off at, man. Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 58 and verse 1.
Yep.
Cry aloud, spare not.
The scripture said, "Cry aloud." Right, you females. Right, you cop riders. You know, the women of our nation always got something to say. Why y'all talking so loud? The scripture commands us to, man. The Heavenly Father commands us to go out here and speak with a loud voice, man. Cry loud. Go ahead.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet,
and
shew my people their transgression.
And show the Lord's people their transgressions, their sins. Because guess what? The so-called white man is not going to do that. You know? You're not going to learn this from these harlot houses. You're not going to learn this at these so-called prestige colleges, HBCUs, these Ivy League schools, universities. You're not going to hear this message. Right? The man of the Lord is going to show you where you're going.
And the house of Jacob their sins.
Now get what sin is real fast. First John
3 and 4.
Come. And show the house of Jacob. Who's Jacob? Jacob's name was changed to Israel after he wrestled an angel and received that blessing. He's Yasharallah. He's a prince of the power. He's a prince of God. And he had 12 sons, man, who the promise would go to. The promise wouldn't fall on Ishmael. It wouldn't fall on Esau. It fell on Jacob. Abraham to Isaac to Jacob. And to his 12 sons, man. The so-called Negroes, right? So-called blacks and head tribe Judah all the way down to our brother Issachar. The hard-ass working so-called Meccano.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 3 and verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law.
Yeah, sin is the transgression. You're going against what the Heavenly Father has prescribed for us. The Lord gave us a way of life. He gave us a way, man. It's through this book. Why do you think Esau tampered with it, man? Why do you think the heathen tampered with it? They didn't want us back serving our power, man. Because once we on all, good rapport with our power, the nations can't do nothing with us, man. You know, this is what fears them. Hey, we got to change. We got to change the narrative. We got to tell them that eating shrimp is good in protein. You know, we gotta tell them that getting our education is the way to go. We're in power. Let's do it. You know, their deep, dark counsels that they have. Yep.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, and verse 17.
Yep.
Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me.
Yeah. So the Lord has made us watchmen, right? What does the watchman do? He's on watch. You know, for what? Oncoming approaches. No, I like that shirt. Certain men on the earth being watchmen over the house of Israel. Once again, which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and the Israelite foreigners. Okay? Whose seed line goes right now. A look can be an indicator, right? But it's truly off the spirit. You know, that seed, because we've been scattered amongst all nations. So Jake's gonna come looking like so-called white people. And that's what fucks the average, person up when they, that's why they don't come out here. They don't get it. But they'll continue to say, oh, it's a black thing, it's a black thing. No, it's not. You got people coming and ask us, we say, look, if your seed line goes back to this people, hey, you may look like a heathen, but you one of us. Your ass better repent. you know? You know, you let always bring it out, but it's a great example of Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin, father, right? And they're not going, we're going to get back on the point. But his father is a so-called Haitian. And then you look at Blake Griffin, and Blake Griffin got with a blonde-haired or blue-eyed woman, and the kid came out blonde-haired, blue-eyed. And I was fucking with my demon one day. I was like, so what nationality is he? He's a Haitian, I guess. I said, you goddamn right. But it's hard for you to fathom that because our people are so fucking carnal. Yeah.
This is Jeremiah 12 and 9. My inheritance is unto me as a speckled bird.
Mm-hmm.
The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to the bow.
Yep. So our people look like all nations, man. You know? You know? So when scriptures say about, every nation and tongue being beamed up, roughly paraphrasing, you may see a Jake looking like a goop being beamed up. Not the Israelites. So I had a vision, a dream. I was fighting with some goops. They were Jakes, man. They were going to get it, But hey, this is one to hit that point. So let's go back to Ezekiel. Finish that out.
This is Ezekiel 3 and 17.
Yep.
From the top. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
Yeah, and when you watch, you got to be on point. You can't be, you watch some of these movies and the security guards got his feet kicked up. He's on his phone. He's supposed to be watching the cameras. And then all of a sudden, the thief comes in, catch him off guard. No, you got to constantly be on your watch. You got Israelite groups taking vacations, taking time off. Oh, I'm running this business right now. When the weather get back in, a good weather, we'll come out there. We'll do what we got to do. No, you got to constantly be on watch, man. Because things is popping up every day. Prophecy is kicking, man. Famine of the words is upon us. A famine of food. Pestilence running everywhere. Earthquakes. Esau passing out at the podium. Yeah. And that juice is kicking in high gear, man. It's coming for these people. Go ahead.
Therefore, hear the word at my mouth.
Right. Hear the word of the Lord's mouth. What's the mouth? Prophets. Luke 1. Amos, the 3rd chapter, goes into that too. He gave the secret unto his servants, the prophets. Okay? We're in the time of Malachi 3. Discerning who has the truth and who doesn't, man. We getting the blood off our hands. Don't take it up with us, take it up with your how about Shimon Rashad. I don't get it. I mean, back here years ago, Zah, you remember when the college kids came out and he was like, I just can't get it. Help me get it. Bro, we can't help you get it. Then I ended up seeing him like months later. He looked bugged the fuck out. Bugged out. You know? I was doing too much studying. I don't know. But you got it, right?
And give them warning from me.
Yeah, give them warning from the Lord. From that, this is a heavenly warning, man. From the message from the heavens. The Lord's getting ready to come and tear shit up, man. Get ready to rip a hole through this place, man. And all can do it with a snap of a finger, but no, he wants to torture you motherfuckers, man. Big Shirley, Keisha. Remember that fat lip Maria? I don't cook for my husband. I was cooking breakfast and my husband said, where's mine? This is for the kids only, you bitch. The Lord's coming for our people, man. But this is the grace period. This is the time to be getting right. And what are our people doing? Like Elliot said, stinking up the field, man. My AU coach used to say that. Stinking up the field, man. They're being lovers of themselves, right? OnlyFans, adulterers. You know, they're worshiping any and everything. Worshiping their jobs. That's why they're crying for this thing to open back up. You got it.
I got Amos 9 and 8.
Come.
This is the book of Amos 9 and 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord power are upon the sinful kingdom.
This is that sinful kingdom, man. America. Hands down. Why do you think everybody flocks here? Why do you think everybody comes here, man? Okay? Because you can do wickedness here. One of my exes was telling me, you know, we cool. Was telling me, yeah, she going to take a trip to the Middle East. And she was like, yeah, I can't go over there with my cleavage out. I was like, yeah, you can. You know? They'll fuck your ass up. But over here, a woman can walk butt-ass naked. Right? Wickedness, man. Wickedness. Popping animals. You know? All types of witchcraft going on. But yet, this is Reagan said this was the Bible was the law of the land. That's a lie. Because if so, things wouldn't be the way they are.
And I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord.
Yeah, that remnant. The Lord's going to destroy this place through missiles, man, along with the chariots. Get Zechariah 14. Somebody hold me Isaiah 66 and 15. Now, the Lord's coming back with fire, man. This is the second death. First death was the flood.
This is the book of Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem.
Right, which is the people. So-called blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and American Indians, and there's white foreigners, man. That's the Lord's people. Who has fought against them? The heathen round about us, man. Wherever we're scattered amongst them, they're fighting against us, man. Some way, form, or fashion. Whether it's through working us to death, all right? We're being experimented on. All right, that's not talked about enough. You think monkeys are the only ones in those cages that, you know? What do you think happens to all these missing people? All right, they're not just, you know, deleted and sacrificed. Esau's one of those guys, man. He uses everything. So how Gad would do, they would take a buffalo and use everything as much as they could off of it. Nothing wasted. That's what Esau does, man. You got it.
their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
Yeah, the future's gonna be over for these people, man. They ain't gonna be able to mock and scoff in that day. When you got, you know, get to your local bunker or place of shelter, them sirens go off. It's gonna be too late, man. Everything you thought you was gonna do and wanted to do, it's gonna be, on fire. And now people gonna have to hold it, man. Lord's gonna let our people feel it. He gonna feel it, man. All the people that came up against him first and foremost. His son, his men, the believers, they gonna feel it, man. Wrath belongs unto the Lord, man. You get pissed off somebody at your job, you know. I was driving, somebody just cut me off and got in front of me and went slow. I send up curses. What can I do? Get out and throw a bottle at them? Curse them out? No, the Lord know how to get them, man. Somebody got that Isaiah 66?
I got it.
None.
I got 65 too, if you want that.
Bring them both.
I'm gonna start with 65 first. This is Isaiah chapter 65, verse 12. Therefore will I number you to the sword.
2/3 of our people, they're already numbered, man. See, we're playing out. Everybody has their own lot, man. This is the greatest movie ever. And 2/3 got a lot of destruction played out for them, man. Yeah, it may seem like they're winning, they're getting over, but guess what? The Lord got a horrific deletion in writing for them, man. They don't know their latter end because they don't believe these words. Motherfuckers think they're going to die in their sleep. They're going to die busted, you know? I had Jake tell me, if I had to go out, I want to go out in something. All right. All right. You got it out.
Okay, this is one movie, when they be showing those apocalyptic movies, when they know the world about to end, people be having orgies.
Yeah, partying, yeah.
So yeah, you might go out, having sex, when the missiles is flying.
Yep. Hey, days of Noah. Eating, drinking, marrying, giving in marriage.
Yeah. When it started raining, I'm pretty sure somebody was humping. When water started falling. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and you shall all bow down to the slaughter.
Right, you're gonna all bow down because there's nothing you can do, man. Right, Deuteronomy 32 comes to mind. We're all in the hands of the Lord, roughly paraphrasing. The entity that controls your life, you mock, you stop, you don't do as he says. What do you think's gonna happen? That rope of mercy is gonna fucking disintegrate, man. Right along with your ass, but it's fire.
Answer. When I spake, ye did not hear.
Right, because you got to remember, we're just poor. We're poor men, rich in faith. You know, the scriptures tell you when a poor man speak, who is this guy? You know? But these people are still up in what was space? What's his name? Power Bottom.
Yeah.
This dude, man. You listen to the people of our people that's on TV, the so-called somebodies, man. You know, you didn't say I had I said my twin brother. Why should I listen to you? I'm not telling you to listen to me. You in the same position as me. Why should I listen to you? I got a great secret, man. This is what the Lord's gonna do. All right, bro. That's how people look at it, man. I grew up with you. But they tell you how shot. This is a carpenter's son. All right. The Lord got to be dealing with somebody, man. And our people going to find out the hard way. You got it.
When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes.
Yeah, because we tell our people, and when this message is revealed to our people, you know what they like to do? Go to Ain't no way. Well, why am I not dead then? Why am I not destroyed yet? We've been celebrating Christmas my whole entire life. Okay. We're just giving a message. You know, the part of scripture, you know, because sinners get evil work, not executed speedily. Jake think they're in a good case. All right. Keep fucking around. You got it.
And did choose that, wherein I delighted not.
And the Lord doesn't delight in wickedness, man. A lot of people are saturated with it because they're being ran by the wicked. And we're crying aloud, sparing not, saying, look, you don't have to be that way. That's not the right way. But what our people say, is that Amos? Warning them called evil good and good evil, to put light for dark and dark for light. What we're doing, it says evil is wicked. Huh? Isaiah 5. You know? But our people say what? Oh no, that's not. If everybody can't come join the party, y'all nah. Y'all wicked. Y'all racist. You know? But to the most part, we are to a certain degree. We're for our people. We're for the nation of Israel. Right? But they would never dare say the so-called white man is racist. Where we at?
Isaiah 66, verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind.
So the Lord, right, Yahushua, who the world aiming calls Jesus, he's coming back with fire. So when those idiots, you know, that was waiting for the Lord to come back, you know, it was in the forest somewhere. The scriptures say come back with fire. So if I hear that, I'm going, in God we trust. Got on his card. You know, he had two signs of it. But anyways, when you be like, well, let me get some more understanding on this. Because that's not what I was told how the Lord was coming back. But Jake, he's coming back with fire, man. I don't know about y'all, but a little match. Stick your hand over that. That shit hurts, man. You got it.
Surrender his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire.
Yep. He's coming back angry, man. And he's a so-called black man. Right from the tribe of Yahweh. You know, dad get mad. We get mad as fuck. You know, the Latinos, they get mad. But when Judah get mad, it's a rap, man. It's a rap. And the Lord's angry, man. Scripture says he's angry with the wicked every day. Can't wait to get down here and fuck shit up, man. This place needs new management. You know? We them employees going to HR. You know? I'm not getting paid. You know? He's forcing me to be homeless. I ain't got no food. The food he's giving me is plastic. You know, I saw something where, matter of fact, you know, having children now, man. Once you had a couple of, VAXs, now they got like over like 20 VAXs a baby has to get now before leaving the hospital, man. Hebrews 13 comes to mind. We have no continual city here, man. But we seek one. And it's going to come through fire, man. This is what's going to cleanse this place, man.
Basically, the baby is owned by the state.
Yeah. Because we are slaves. Think about it. You know, you watch some old slavery movies when, that was the slave master's baby. Well, nothing you could do about it. Nothing has changed. According to Baruch the 13th. You got it, Doc.
For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh.
See, this is how the Lord gonna judge you, idiots, man. You numb nuts. All you loud talk. Fire. Because I remember Jadakiss was doing one of those little freestyles, and he was like, pain will get a nigga's, I forgot how he put it, attention, pretty much. And it's true. Pain will get a nigga's attention, man. And the Lord's bringing it.
Pain and discomfort.
Yep. Like fire or something.
Interesting.
You got no incense, bro?
In the lights.
See if they got it. Well, sure. Oh, you on the camera? Never mind. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
And just like you said, niggas' attentions don't get got until pain or discomfort. And just like now with these food stamps, now people's attention getting got. Because now your stomach finna be touching your back. Fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh. And the slain of the Lord shall be many.
And the slain of the Lord shall be many. My God, can you hold me second Ezra's 7 and 20? Can you bring that real quick? How many? I think it's 20. 7 and 20. Right there.
When the perish in his life is
Yeah.
It's second Ezra chapter 7, verse 20. It says, "For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of the Most High that is set before them."
Yeah, man. A lot of our people are going to perish because they despise this word, right? Which is for their betterment, which is for their everything that our people are really looking for is this knowledge, man. This is the comfort. This is the comfort, man. But yet our people seeking in, smooth things, other philosophies, right? The bag. Okay. I was doing a lesson on this basketball player. I don't know if y'all may remember him, but Sebastian Telefeld. He was a point guard from out of New York. He was like Stephon Marbury's. Yeah, he was really good, and make a long story short, he did 10 seasons in the league. Now he's back in the same projects, that he grew up in, man. Look, bugged the fuck out. He was doing like a little documentary on him, man. And now people, look, despise this world. What do you think's gonna happen to you, man? I forgot where I was going with it, but it'll come back to me. But you got it, bro.
It's second Ezra chapter 7, verse 21. It says, "For the Most High hath given straight commandments to such as come, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment."
Yeah, so the Lord gave straight commandments through his prophets. All right? What our people should do. How they should be conducting themselves on the earth. Because you got to remember, transgressing the ways of the Lord is sin. And the wages of sin is deletion. Right? You're being removed from the earth. So a lot of our people is not hearkening to this word. And it takes coming out of that fleshly mindset, man. What I want to do, what makes me feel good. You're going to destroy yourself with that mindset, man. Read some more?
You read it?
Yeah.
It's second Ezra chapter 7, verse 22. It says, "Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him and imagined vain things."
And that's been the the thing for our people. Captivity after captivity.
Edda 7, in verse 23, 22, 2nd Edda 7 and 22, it says, nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him and imagined vain things.
Yeah, but spake against him and imagine vain things. Things is come to naught what you thinking about, man. Right? That dude thought he was gonna be an NBA legend. You know? A lot of people think they're gonna be the best of all they can be in their wickedness, man. But guess what? The Lord's gonna bring all that to naught. The Lord put us down here to what? Remember him, to serve him, to turn back to him. All right, now people want none of it. So therefore, they got to sit in the miseries that's getting ready to befall them, man. Like the bar was going into. You got these women with all these damn kids. One lady says, "Yeah, I got 7 different baby daddies. Somebody gonna take care of these kids." You know?
It's 2nd Edda 7, in verse 23, and deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of the Most High that he is not, and knew not his ways.
Yeah, man. They said the Most High, he is not, man. And he knew not his ways, but they didn't take you to the prophets. That makes you think about the rich, so-called rich of our people. Up in high status, up in echelon of Jake. They feel like they made it, so they don't need the Lord. But it's going to be to their downfall, man. We're seeing it, man. We're seeing it. That was it on that.
I got something else.
Yep.
It's Jeremiah 6, I'll start at 16, Jeremiah 6 and 16. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths.
Right. And ask for the old paths, the way of righteousness, man. All right, because you got to remember, we went off track. As a people, as a nation, we went off track, man. That's why we open up Isaiah 58. Cry loud, spare not, lift up thy voice of the trumpet, and show thy people their transgressions in the house of Jacob, their sins, so they can get back on the right track, man. Okay? You got it?
There's in Jeremiah 6 and 16. It says, where is the good way, and walk therein.
Yeah, where is the good way? Because look at all the ways it's been prescribed to you prior to hearing this, man. It didn't lead to a comfortability, right? I'm gonna join the army because, my uncle, my grandfather, my father, you come back from war and you bug the hell out. You know what I'm saying? You work a corporate job. It ain't gotta be a corporate job, right? But a lot of these jobs you work, you gotta be more wicked to reach the top. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be cutthroat. You know? I knew somebody, it was a woman, and she was in a position of a manager status, and she had to, in order to keep that job, she had to get rid of her staff. And she was like, I don't want to do that. They got families, they got in the third, blah, 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 blah. And they were like, well, if you want to keep this job, either you have to do it and continue to move up, or we going to ship you to West Bubblefuck if you want to keep a job. So she ended up leaving. This place, look, wickedness is rewarded in this place, man. Unrighteousness is rewarded in this place because it's being ran by the wicked. You got it.
Let's read it again. Yep. Jeremiah 6 and 16, it says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls.
Yeah, this is what's going to rest your mind, your spirit, man. All right? For the most part, it's just we still in the flesh, but that's what we got the overall comfort, man, because we know the end. We know the end of all things. Pertaining to salvation, pertaining to getting into the kingdom, right? We have it, man. And we're telling our people, look, this is the way. Right? It's a treasure, man. But just because it's not a treasure in this world, our people don't want none of it, man. Fuck you then. May the Lord destroy you. Because us brothers up here, we're telling you, look, come join this, man. Come get in this party. This what's popping. This age we in is going out, man. It's going out.
Will not walk therein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they said no. We're not going. Turn back to who? What's that name again? Oh, nah. JC is the only name I'm calling on. You know, that lemon pepper shrimp. Yo, she's digging me. Yeah, but she's married, bro. But she's digging me. All right, all right. They don't want none of it. When the Lord laid that motherfucker down, right? And them spirits created for vengeance, them death angels start roaming around even more than what you see. I ain't look. And we're not gonna be able to reprove it till these people soon come, man. Lord's not gonna have it no more, man. You got it.
Yeah, see, soon the talking will stop.
Yep.
Because we've been talking for a long time. And once the talking stopped, then it's action. And shit go get real.
But that's Jake's MO. He waits to the last minute, want to try to call on the Lord when he's going through some type of adversity.
Yeah,
and then it's too late.
Slocky. You remember that dude that got pulled over by the cops? And they busted down the window. He's like, sure. Nah, too late. You know, you know, obviously you wasn't being a servant in sincerity and in truth. You know. Oh yeah.
Jeremiah 6.
Okay.
It's Jeremiah 6 and verse 17. Time to turn the point. Also, I have said, but they said we will not hearken.
Yeah, they hearken to the sound of this trumpet. But what? It doesn't sound good to our people, man. You know, you have bits and pieces to the tune, to the song that our people may like, but overall, they don't like it, man. You know, makes you think about Ezekiel 33, I believe. But you know, when it's going to like this truth being a song, you know, 30, yeah, I know toward the bottom, you know, you may hit like a verse from a song. Oh yeah, I can have more than. It's like them. And it don't really matter what it looks like, you know. You got it.
Yep. I'll read you the verses. Jeremiah 6 and verse 18. Therefore, hear, ye nations. Jeremiah 6 and 19. Hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts.
Yep, even the fruit of your thoughts, man. That's why we always pray the Lord forgive us for our thoughts, man. Okay? Because they're wicked, man. Jeremiah 17 comes to mind. You know? You got it.
Finish Jeremiah 6 and 19. It says, because they have not hearkened unto my words, nor to my law, but rejected it.
But rejected it, man. And what the Lord tells in Proverbs, the first chapter, you know, when I call you refuse, therefore he's going to laugh, he's going to mock when your fear cometh, man. Our people are really fucking around with the wrong one. They fucking around with the wrong one, man. You know, they say, go play with your kids, don't play with me. That's what the Lord's saying, man. So let's go back. Yeah.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7. And I'll start at 12. The time has come, the gate draweth near. Of the multitude thereof.
Yep. Started in Ezekiel 12. Okay.
Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send my anger upon thee.
Yep.
And I will judge thee according to thy ways.
Yep. So the Lord's getting ready to judge our people according to their ways. But guess what? He's judging you out of his law book. He's not going to judge you out of so-called white man's law book. But he changes laws every freaking day. You know what I'm saying? He get caught with some madness now. He changes the law. You know? That's the devil for you, man. That's a deceiver for you. You got it.
And will recompense upon all thee all thine abominations.
So a recompense is coming. And you know what I'm saying? Payback's a bitch. You got it?
And my eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity.
So the only entity that's going to show you mercy is not going to give it to you, man. You can't run the man. You can't run to your cash. Your cash. Quiche. You know what I'm saying? You can't, look, I've been going to learn the hard way, man. How about Shemel Shah is the only way. I picked those up, man.
It's good. I told her to grab one.
Okay.
It's decent. I don't know if you might know.
We'll bring that next.
Okay. I started the top again. It's Ezekiel 7:4. And mine eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity.
Yep, neither will the Lord have pity, man. The time of pity and mercy being shown is now. All right? Grace period soon is getting ready to be up, man. I mean, you know, talking from the head apostles on down, but talking for years, man. Talking takes energy. I know. You got it.
But I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abominations shall be in the midst of thee.
Yep.
And ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai.
Yep. Then you're going to know a prophet been among you, man. You know? Go ahead.
It's Zechariah 7:9. Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, execute true judgment, and show mercy and compassion every man to his brother. And oppress not the widow.
That's a commandment. The Lord commands us to be brotherly to our brothers, man. You know? You know, black people can't be brotherly at all. He said he used to envy Mexicans, man, of the brotherhood they had. Now, it was wickedness going on, yeah, of course. But not like how it is with the head tribe.
Like crabs in a barrel.
Yep.
I never want to see anybody on top.
Right.
Drag them down with them, you know.
Yep.
Verse 10. And oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, the stranger, nor the poor.
Yep.
And let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart.
Keep going.
But they refused to hearken and pulled away the shoulder and stopped their ears that they should not hear.
There's going to be a recompense for that, right? 'Cause look, you got to remember, our people see us and think it's us. But Luke 10 comes to mind. He that hear of you, hear of me. And he that, matter of fact, I'm going to get it real quick. I don't want to butcher it. Get it real quick. This is Luke chapter 10. I think it's 15 or 16. Here we go. If you know, you know. Luke 10 and 16. He that hear of you, hear of me. When they send me, so it's really the Lord, man. They see us, but it's really the Lord, man. You know, it's like,
You go into some that those requests the Lord is ultimately asking our people to do is, as Scripture say, was 1 John 5. For this is love the Lord and we keep His commandments. And His commandments are not grievous. It's not a hard thing to do. You know, stop eating shrimp, ham, pork, lobster, stop committing adultery. It's not hard, man. You know? But they love darkness, man. That's the whole thing.
here we go.
Zechariah 7 and 12. Yea.
Oh, finish your statement, Mike.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
No, that was it. You know, love your neighbor. You know, keep the commandments. You rehearse the rights to acts, but again, the Lord's not asking us to do something impossible. You know, it's just like our people that love, you know, getting
of the devil, man. It made me thinking, it's not hard in the way the Lord's not grievous. Like, I went to the store and beef bacon was right there with the pork bacon. It's right there with the chicken bacon, the turkey bacon. How hard is it? I mean, it may be a couple of dollars more or whatever. Yeah, beef bacon is good, man. But, it's not that the Lord gave us options, man. But
I paid it $10 for that part.
$10.
This is Zechariah 7 and 12.
I got it for $8.
We might be able to sell it.
Yeah, it was. I think it was.
Yea, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law and the words which the Lord of hosts have sent in his spirit by the former prophets. Therefore came a great wrath from the Lord of hosts.
Yeah, because our people are hard-headed, man. They don't want nothing to do with righteousness. Our people are cast it behind them, man. The ways of the Lord in their eyes is too much. It grieves them, You ain't got that smuggling on today, man. What's up, man?
I was in the store.
I'm messing with you, brother.
They're making some damn chips.
Oh, man. Damn. Some damn chitlins. That was pretty much it. All right, so I'm gonna bring out one more. I'm gonna pass the rock. I didn't mean to go this long. You good? Was you holding anything?
almost 9. If you brought it out, I still want some.
Yeah, let's get that one. Let's get that Amos, and then I'll pass it on.
So Amos chapter 9 and verse 8, it says, "Behold, the eyes of the face of the earth, saving that I would not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, said the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua."
Yeah, and that simple kingdom is right here in America, man. The Lord's going to destroy it. He's destroying it now. You got Egyptian getting against the Egyptian. All right. Esau doesn't know what move to make next. You got fights among the elites. You got fights among the American people. You got fights amongst the people who are insignificant of the earth. Okay. Wars erupting. Earthquakes all over the place. It's not being talked about. Uncurable diseases.
Those massacres going on over there in Africa.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when I said wars. Yeah, yep. You got Hamite women running with phones saying, "Oh, they're destroying us. They're putting us down."
I was just reading. They said it was public mass gang rapes going on over there.
Yep.
It's evils going over there right now. And they said they talking about it was children and babies as young as 1 getting raped. So it's real bad. It's real bad over there right now. It's terrible. It's evil's ascent over there for real right now.
Also, it must be something in that land that you saw once.
It's more the surface level that they're showing us.
Yep.
They're showing us what they want us to see.
Yep.
He said there's always an ulterior motive. Look at them crazy baboons over there. Let's
Yep.
bring some order.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, while you looking at that, while I'm here, look at that little nonsense.
You letting them do that.
Yeah.
Because it's a man claiming to have over 2,000 bodies. Esau Edom would have been if it was. Take him to jail for genocide.
Yeah, he's still under charges.
Yeah. Yep.
We know all that shit.
Yeah, Mikowski. Mikowski.
This is Ezekiel 33 and 30. Also, thou son of man, the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls.
Yeah, and you see that, out here too, but, now behind the camera, man. Everybody got a phone, they're on their TikToks, their Instagrams, they talking shit. They're let me tell you about these Israelites. Then you got some like, Israelites, they're kind of all right, whatever the case may be, but then everyone's talking. Like Apostle Hart said, it's a good thing. I didn't, take that stance at first, but I get it. I was getting on Jerusalem, but he has a part to play. And he's bringing a spotlight to this thing.
He's still being wicked, though.
Facts.
It says, in the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, every one to his brother, saying, Come, I pray you, and hear what the word that coming forth from the Lord.
Yeah, listen to this, man. These guys said they're the chosen people. Come listen to this.
Yeah, like it's a zoo spectacle.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to see the lion inhabit? What's it called? You want to see the lion enclosure?
Yeah.
Here, look, there goes some monkeys.
Yeah.
There goes some. That's how they look at us, man. And like I said, with the Jerusalem thing, that's how little they think of what we're doing, man. And a lot of times, because you got dumbass Jakes out there that actually do that goofy shit. 1 second into the video, niggas saying that's right already. It's
Stay on the ground.
As soon as the camera, we about to go live. That's right.
That's how that.
Go and join your food.
That's how them niggas was in that camp. Nigga, that's right. Like, God damn, this is Jeremiah. That's right. That's an Asian, right? Like,
That nigga cough.
yeah.
Sneeze.
Bring
it up.
We had one guy like that. He kept coming
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, brothers don't
Bro,
see it.
bro, like, yo, he got sick.
Oh, okay.
To be honest with you, he was coming out before me. He was supposed to been in the camp. Yeah, Jeff, yeah.
It's Ezekiel 33 and 31, and they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people,
Right.
and they hear
Oh,
thy
yeah.
words, but they will not do them.
And that's literally, and I just speak from my experience in a short time, and it's true. It happens thousands of times. Jacob come up on the other side, stand there. Oh yeah, shit, that's on point. Nigga, leave and he'll never do what was said to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because that's what happens, man. Jake, again, you don't have the spirit of Yahweh Shai within them, so that the word of wisdom is just in one ear out the other, man.
His clip, this guy, he was pressing him to get an interview out of him and ask him, basically like, how'd you get rich and stuff, right? He's like, man, I don't want to do this interview because I know the people watching this are going to forget. He said, the people watching this are going to forget this. He said, you're going to forget this anyway. And he went through the process of what, to be a stoic, things like that. Hey, I don't want to forget this. I don't want to be one of them guys that forget it. That's how our people are with this truth. They hear, they see, and I don't remember what they were talking about.
Exactly. Short attention span when it comes to righteousness. Mm-hmm. Real short. The wickedness nigga will watch the whole game. He don't get up, use the bathroom. I can't miss this quarter. Nigga don't even get up to use the bathroom. All the niggas' last names, where they went to college at. Stats. All the stats. His cousin, I knew it,
Hey, real talk, that was me in the world. I wasn't be a sports commentator, so I was in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's a spirit, though. That commentation is a spirit.
Yeah, it is.
All that shit.
Yeah.
Wisdom, too high.
Ezekiel 33 and 31, but they will not do them for their mouth. For with their mouth they show much love. Honking the horn.
Yes, sir.
Jake love honking the horn.
Putting that fist out.
Yeah, putting the fist out. But their heart goes after their covetousness.
When you go into NLT, that word is money. They go chasing after money. Going after ultimately what they want to do, man.
I know.
Again, what are these people doing driving past, every Saturday, on their agenda to do? Enjoy themselves, have fun, make some money, man. Not, let me go find the words of Yahweh Shai, man. Because in the ancient world, you knew where the prophets were. Yeah. You'll say, let me go to the chief place of concourse so I can find what my soul loves. It's called the Song of Solomon, man. But Jake want to come downtown and bullshit and call me, man.
Exalt their wickedness.
And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that have a pleasant voice and can play well on the instrument, for they hear thy words, but they do them not.
They hear the words of the Lord, but they don't do them. Because verse is not mixed with faith. Because these words have to be mixed with faith. It's not going to do you no profit. Right. Of course, if you don't fear Yahweh Shai, you don't have faith, man. It's the same words you're hearing, we heard, man, and we believe. But most of our people, they're going to hear and do what the hell they want to do, man. They don't understand how serious, the situation that we're involved in, man. And what's to come down the pipe going to really prophecy. They don't see no interest in prophecy. What's that got to do with me? That's a lot to do with you, man.
And you can teach some, brothers are going into how, in our culture, we make songs that, have things stick. Yeah, that's why. The ABCs, so that there's you're supposed to hear this song and instruction that follows them. That song.
Commercial, liberty, mutual insurance.
Yeah, liberty. Yeah.
Shit, you know that shit too. I'm just saying right now.
I got a precept. What? I don't know. You said one of y'all said it. My God said it. Can I bring it real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Hebrews 4 and 2. It says, for unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them. But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it.
Yep, so not mixed with faith in them that heard it. It didn't do the spiritual process it's supposed to do. It's supposed to first humble you, strike that match, that fear, the whole time in that aha moment. They don't got no aha moment coming up here. They go, again, nothing's clicking, man. They'll hear, they'll agree, but again, they don't turn from their wickedness. because they don't want to put off what they're doing
Yep.
to serve the Lord. They got more important shit to do, man. This book is old. It's outdated. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with my life. It's 2025. You know, what about the bag? That's all they want to talk about is money. Yep. You know? As far as feeding your soul, you know, building integrity, having virtues that please Yahweh Shai. Jake don't got that, man.
Right.
You know, they figured out everything under the sun besides serve their power. You know, they wear suit and tie, motherfucking no rocket science. You know, Jake can do between the legs, 360 dunk. You know, besides everything except to serve the Lord, man. You know, why to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge because they don't have no space for knowledge. They have all the space for evil, you know, and simplicity and folly. But to serve the Lord, no space, you know.
Yeah, they don't have a design. Want, you know, that desire, that, you know, that longing for. You know, you gotta long after instruction and wisdom. You know, I was watching the brothers, there you go, brothers been in this thing, you know, 10, 15, 20 years and still have that mindset of, I gotta do better, I gotta do more. You know, I don't know if I made it yet. You know, that's the spirit you gotta be in when it comes to this truth. You know, Jake feels like, because we, you know, in our culture, you know, we master things and move on and master the next thing. You know, but to master oneself, that's going to take a lifetime. You know, I play video games. I master that. You know, Call of Duty. I'm retired. On to the next thing. You know?
I got something real quick. Mike, you going to this. Straight to the point. Matthew 6:21. It says, NLT, wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will be also.
Yeah, you have a treasure.
Yep.
You know, it's like you got a nigga at a piggy bank, you know, you putting in work to make sure it's full. You know, so where your treasure is, you know, there where your heart be also, you're constantly gonna be thinking about, I gotta do the work to make sure this piggy bank is full. You know, I gotta do this, you know, to make it fulfilled.
Yeah, it been since we started up. Yeah.
What, oh.
Nah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is Matthew 6:21 NLT. Wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will be also.
Yeah, so your desire of your heart, you know, what you truly think about is what you truly treasure at the end of the day. You know, people say they treasure this, they love that. They really don't, because they don't put any, like, focus on it. You know? And Sophia is likened onto a woman. You know, that's wisdom in the Greek, Sophia.
Yeah.
You know, and it's likened onto a woman. A woman wants you to show that you love her.
144 on that car. Yeah. We got one more.
Continual attention.
Right.
Energy. You don't love me anymore. You know? Dick, fall out of your love with Yahweh by Shema and Shai. You know, that's why some say I've odds with thee because I've forgotten thy first love.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And like you said earlier, you know, this ain't something you can retire from or stop going there.
Right.
You know, because it's always something new to learn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's an old stoic quote. You know, the more you know and the more you learn, the more you know nothing.
Yeah, the more you learn, the more you realize. Yeah, the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. The more I realize I don't know, the more I want to learn. That's how it is.
You got to think. There's infinite knowledge out there. Infinite knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and information out there that our brains right now in this physical flesh can't even grasp or hold. You know, which is why, you know, once the Lord returns and we get into our spiritual bodies, we'll be able to understand and receive and eat up certain knowledge and information that we couldn't handle right now, because this information and knowledge out there right now that these physical bodies and brains can't even grasp or handle. You know, that'll probably, you know, make us like just look at things way differently. You know, but this knowledge and wisdom and understanding that we receiving now is a high level, especially compared to this wicked simple kingdom society and world that we live in today, because our eyes is open and we on a whole different frequency and vibration to where we detach it from this world, and we detach it from the ways of this world because we realize it's all vanity and it's all foolishness.
These are natural brute beasts made to be taken and destroyed. You know, brute beasts, a beast, he just does things. You know, like the Joker said, he's like a dog chasing his tail. He wouldn't know what he did. He wouldn't know what to do if he caught it.
Right.
You know, these people just do things. They get deep as hell over here.
I got one more for you. This is Matthew 6:24 in the NLT. No one can serve two masters, for he will hate the one and love the other. You will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and money.
Yeah, you can't serve, you know, because you got to master something and to serve a master. Well, a master is gonna have certain rules, certain guidelines. Like, brothers, you gotta be a master of your house. You gotta have rules set up. You can't just let, you know, things slide. You gotta have order. You gotta set up order. So to be a servant, you know, to society, you know, to sell out, you know, for money and things of that nature, you know, well, that goes contrary to what Yahweh Shema Shai requires of us. You know, because of what? Give me poverty nor riches. Feed me food that's convenient to me. This world has this mindset, just go, go, go. You know, secure the bag. You know, it's never enough. You know, I was watching this guy on YouTube. He, went to the stock market and stuff. He got like a $4 million portfolio. This nigga say he won a $50 million portfolio. I'm like, God damn, nigga. Like $4 million not enough. Like he said, and then you know when he gets to 50, let's say, then he's gonna say, man, I could do 200 million. You know, and then you know I've heard stories of guys saying, well, I mentored this guy. He had $40 million, but he wasn't satisfied. He was risky, and now he's going down to 3-4 million. You know, this is a goddamn. So like the guy was already there. Shows you. You know, it ain't really because it's not money you're after. People were looking for validation, thinking money is gonna validate them. Yep. You know, only you gotta have peace. That's what Yahweh Shai came to offer. My peace I give unto you, not as the world give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled. You know, people's minds are troubled here in Babylon the Great, thinking that paper can make you happy. If you're wise with money, yeah, you can do things. But really, what's enough? Your daily bread. As long as you're sufficient for the day, you should be good. Yep. That's what the scriptures teach us. You don't know what tomorrow can bring. You know, you might not be here tomorrow.
And that's why people go bug out when shit hit the fan and everything come crashing down, because they put their heart and energy and treasures into the things that moth and rust does corrupt. You know, because now when you look, because it's been thousands, tens of thousands of layoffs this year alone. Thousands. So now you got people losing their jobs, and you know what happens when people lose their jobs and their careers? Not at high expensive car. Now you can't afford them payments. Now you can't afford your mortgage because your mortgage going up. Your housing insurance is going up.
Yep. Hyperinflation.
Yeah, hyperinflation. And now the lifestyle that you chose to live, now you can't afford it, and now you got to downgrade.
Can I bring this real quick? It says, Millionaire's Tutor. The U.S. has more people without work than available jobs.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's showing the signs of the times, because here, really, there should be a hiring spree. We're coming into the holiday season. You know, this is where you get your secondary job. You know, you got your main career job. This is where you pick up the second job at the mall. You know, at the little soap store. hand out soaps after you get off of your shift. 5 and 9
Retail.
This is where retail is supposed to go in the hiring. But over the last 5 years, if you've been paying attention to retail stores, they've been, their sales, their gross margins they've been negative. They're in the red. People, consumer sentiment is at an all-time low. Consumers can't afford, and really, that's why they want to get rid of you useless eaters. Because the billionaires, there's 700 billionaires here in America, and they can continue on living their lifestyle. We're coming to the time of the haves and the have-nots. They don't need the everyday consumer to beef up the economy. Because what their economy is leading to is an AI digital world, and they can fund it without you. Right? You got it, bro. Any more? You got anything?
I got Matthew. This is Matthew chapter 15, verse 8. This people drove nigh unto me with their mouth and honored me with their lips, but their heart / mind is far from me.
Yeah, you see that, Oh, sweet Jesus, God is love. That's the spirit that our people are in. Even, brother, Matthew 7 and 21. 7 and 21. Not everybody saying Lord, Lord. Because our people, even they of the circumcision that know they're Israelites, they're in that spirit.
But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
Yep, in vain do they worship me. It's a can I hold Ecclesiastes 12:1, that's what I want to get. It's all vain. It's not going to amount to anything because they're truly not giving their all to the Lord. They're shortchanging Yahweh Shema Shai. It's like you got a woman, you ask her, hey, I'll be home, can you make me this meal? This woman waits till you get home to start preparing the meal. Like, damn, you
pull in the driveway.
So what do you want to eat, babe? Like, damn.
I was hoping it was already.
Yeah, I was hoping like you would at least have something sizzling. At least gotta be sizzling. The meat touching the pan, it starts sizzling. But our people are not in that spirit. They're lax. They're saying it is vain to seek the Lord. That they're in the spirit of an Edomite. What does it profit me to seek the Lord? For thou sayest I am rich and have neither nothing. That's the spirit the Edomites are in.
This is Matthew chapter 7.
And then we get to like Ecclesiastes 12 to keep us in the house.
Yep. Matthew 7 and 21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, and that Lord is Yahweh Shai. You have that ICBK member, a new guy, very young man, a novice, not knowing anything, but yet proud, lifted up with pride. A novice lifted up with pride. I could say the same thing about you. We can the mouth, the tongue, the ear, we can discern when someone's being sarcastic, when someone, we can discern all that, right? And Yahweh Shema Shai, his name is going out to the four corners of earth, and some of our people think, oh, I got the name, I'm good. You can say the name of the Lord is a strong tower, but you don't really trust in the Lord. Trust is a two-way street. Well, if you trust the Lord, why callest thou me Lord if thou doest not the things that I command you? That's the spirit of the Lord is coming in.
Matthew 7 and 21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven.
That's right. Yahweh Shai said, well, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So there is instructions that's been left for you to enter into the kingdom of heaven. You have to enter in at the straight gate, a path of difficulty, right? A path of denying yourself, denying worldly pleasures, worldly lusts, right? You have to deny covetousness. You gotta be okay with what you got during this time of grace, right? You gotta, seek Yahweh by Shema Shai 10 times more, right?
That's a Christian mindset. You know, Lord, Lord, you know?
Yeah, because you see a lot of these Christians, they a lot of these young pastors, they be securing the bag. You know, they be loaded, filthy, stinking, filthy rich. But really, we're rich.
Right.
You know, brothers have what people would never have: integrity.
Exactly.
You know, self-esteem, high self-esteem, but not mixed with pride.
Right.
Right? Faith, humility, right? Meekness. These are things the world don't have.
Maybe. What, Mike?
I was just thinking, because what it is people are attached to their traditions. They think traditions, Christmas, celebrating birthdays, that's going to college, getting a doctorate or whatever, get a high-paying salary job. That's gaining godliness. That's what they call it, man. That's why you go into Matthew 15th chapter. How should I get on the wicked scribes and Pharisees, about the disciples, why they don't wash their hands, what I'm saying, before they eat.
Yeah.
That's a tradition. It's an outward tradition, but inwardly, it don't got nothing to do with righteousness, man.
Exactly.
They write in this way. They value traditions over truth.
Yeah.
They know Thanksgiving is wrong, but because of tradition, it's about the family. But the truth is, it's about a massacre, man.
Right.
Goddamn, these my hands, nigga. I'm putting this food in my mouth. Why you worried about what I got going on?
Yeah.
You know, nigga, you walk out the bathroom without washing your hands. He look at you like, this dirty ass bathroom. I'm supposed to wash my hands in this dirty ass bathroom. The damn knob ain't been wiped down ever.
You used to talk about the Christians. I think about times on one of my old jobs, and it was a delivery job, and the guy came out, he was checking me in, checking my box stuff in. He said, "Man, I'm about to go be a pastor." And he was a Jake. He like an Edomite, but he was a Jake. You know what I'm saying? And so he was like, like I'm doing it, and my face was like I had a blank stare because I was like, you gotta go teach some fucking lies. You know what I'm saying?
In his mind, he's doing God's service because that's a tradition. Don't be a pastor. You the pastor. You holy. You're not, man. The Pope.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I saw that clip of that pastor. He was sleeping with men in his congregation.
Oh yeah.
They had the capital H
to
the I to the B.
Yep.
I was like, who's the cameraman recording the cameraman?
Right.
That's why
I thought it was AI at first, but it's truth. There's a lot of truth in that. No harlot houses stories that come out. Yeah. Eddie Long throwing strokes.
Yeah.
Yep. He disintegrated quick too. Yeah, he was buff.
Yeah. He caught something.
Yeah, he caught that thing.
Yeah.
You want that Ecclesiastes now?
I got precept.
Okay, done.
It's Colossians 2 and verse 8. Colossians 2 and 8. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Yeah, beware means to be on guard. Beware of philosophies. Philosophies, everyone has, it can be
Things you live by.
Yeah, things you live by. It's not.
Give money for bitches. That's a philosophy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that philosophy it's a vain deception, right? MOB, money over money over
I clean her
money
up.
over. You can
I
have
clean her ass up, man.
definitely have stoicism. You know, certain of those philosophies are actually beneficial. You know, it puts you into a certain mindset. You know, of bettering yourself. You know, but beware of
Through philosophy,
and that word spoil means to rob. You know, so many minds have been robbed of what your true intention should be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, people coming out, you know, a big gathering in the park. You know, let's gather on Saturday. You know, when majority of those people are probably, you know, in student loan debt. You know, they're thinking like, man, are we going to get food after this? Because, you know, I got chicken noodle soup at home, you know, canned goods at the house. You know, and people believe that they're doing a good service. You know, community. Let's be in the community. Let's do this. Let's all band together. You know, when this community, you know, is going to be destroyed.
Right.
You know, so many vain things people live by. You know, that are going to destroy, that are going to lead to their destruction here in these last days. And we have to be on guard. You know, not as children tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine.
Colossians 2:8, beware lest any man spoil you.
Yeah, after the rudiments of this world. And it's not after Yahweh Shai, what Yahweh Shai told us to follow. What he, the principles he told us to live by. You know what I mean? And it's going to lead to other destruction, other peril. What is hooping and hollering on the park on a Saturday afternoon going to get you? You know, famine is coming. There were reports that um, there was a show, food banks, you know, runs on these different food banks. You know, people passing out food. You know, I heard Dalvin 7 reported over like 100,000 people were at the local food bank organization in Texas. You know, and that's 100,000 people. That's a mob right there. They can do a lot. That's a small army. They can do a lot of damage.
That's a population. That's a whole city. More than the city. You know, 1,000.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Go back to that Matthew 7 book. There's a little bit more I want to read on there. Matthew 7 and 22, 23. Yeah.
oh, this is what I was about to say. Having to go to these food banks because they're not getting paid. So imagine you a federal worker and you got a good paying job and you not getting paid. You gotta go stand in the food line.
Let me back you up. This is from the U.S. It says U.S. News. It says the U.S. government is telling soldiers abroad to go to local food banks during the shutdown. This is his military. How much more the people, the useless eaters?
That's madness.
And you know, eventually, you know, tyranny happening. You know, and eventually they'll, you know, if things get too bad, they'll stop fighting for their army. You know what I mean? They can't lock everybody up. But the government, we'll see. You know, people are, you know, say it could be on by next week. You know, it's really, this is all, you know, trial and error for Esau Edom.
Yeah, this is going back to Rome. Ancient Rome, it's the same thing that had ancient Rome called famine.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna lead to what? You know, a war, man. That's why people up the block, you go up the corner of your own house, you go red or blue. What are you? Left or right? You know? You know, this is the time Yahweh Shai said, time of division, it's supposed to be sown in word.
What kind of American?
Yeah, but
Remember,
Civil War. I just think about it.
Are you American? What kind of American? What state you from? You know? So yeah, it's gonna get bad.
I got a quick one.
ahead, bro.
This is Mark 3:24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end.
Yeah, you see that? Yo, it's crazy. Everybody's on the internet complaining about the same things, right? Price of groceries are too high. You know, rent is too high. You know, basically hyperinflation. Everybody's on the internet complaining about the same things, but when they see their fellow Americans suffering, oh, that's what you deserve.
Right.
You know, you've been living off of the government for too long. You've been taking my bread for too long. It's like, what do you mean? You know, like, you know, I saw a clip. They had Ronald Reagan and I can't remember these presidents' names. They all look the same to me. What the nigga that used to be the actor? I think Reagan, yeah. You had Reagan saying, you know, the government isn't gonna answer all of our problems, and then you had Bush. Yeah, another nigga say, you know, government can answer some of our problems, and now you got this mayor elect in New York saying we're gonna prove that the government answers all of our problems.
Yeah.
So it was showing like how the people have been dumbed down to trust in the government.
Damn.
But they've been the ones fumbling the bag the whole time.
Exactly.
You know? Oh, we should cut interest rates. No, don't cut interest rates.
Right.
You know? But this world doesn't know that.
Right.
You know, they want immediate pleasure. And they don't know that immediate pleasure instead of delayed gratification, right? Delayed gratification always going to be the way.
Right.
You know? They should major depression later. But there's no escaping it because it's all biblical prophecy.
Got something real quick? This is from the humor. It says working 40 hours per week won't cover a 2-bedroom in any U.S. state.
I mean, there's truth to that, right? Because the majority of people are making $18 an hour. Now, if you are less, right? You know, now if you have a couple, and that's why women try to have these deflated standards because of a luxurious lifestyle. So they want a man that went to school and so they can both live a lifestyle. And it's just like, all right, we go 50-50 on everything.
Equally yoked.
Equally yoked together. You know?
How them bitches be.
That's the madness of the society, you know?
No, the nigga woman don't want to be equally yoked.
I know, right?
She just want to be taken care of. while she laying out of shape, don't want to cook or clean, but want somebody to take care of and her children that she got by multiple men.
Yep, so this society is falling down, you know? Read it one more time.
I got another one after that. It says working 40 hours per week won't cover a 2-bedroom in any U.S. state.
Yeah, I don't know if that's for couples or individuals.
Individual.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't live in a 2-bedroom anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But most people working a full-time job have some type of side. People, you know, are living, and you have a lot of these couples to where they're forced to move into a small 1-bedroom apartment, and now they can afford that and live a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
Because they want the liberties of still being able to go out to eat every once in a while. You know, the liberties to drink their beer. You know, people ain't really feeling it like that. People still are doing a little bit of things to give them some type of pleasure. Still going to their Starbucks. You know what I mean? I mean, if it was really bad, these stores, these fast food restaurants wouldn't be out. You know, people would be chilling. But, you know, Americans, I saw a report, the average American, you know, more likely either mine, between 45 and 54 has a net worth of at least $800,000. You know, so Americans, they have money, you know, but they see their inheritance dwindling. That's why people you know, are trying to live off of equity of their homes, right? Case right now. It's just not enough people yet for people to be rioting in the streets.
Yep.
Right?
It says, according to the National Low Income Housing Report of 2025, a full-time worker needs to earn hourly wages of $33.63 to afford a modest home.
Yeah, and that's true. I mean, that's why most people try to get overtime at the job. The average person is working 50 to 60 hours a week. You know, can brother get math real quick? What's 2,000 divided by 52?
2,000.
38.46.
What is it? 38.46. They said the average American works 2,000 hours a year. And they said this robot working at the Toyota dealership, building cars up, this thing will work 1,500 hours in like half the year, half the time. Because he's been he's been working 10-hour shifts every single day. You know, no days off. And they were like, that's productivity. You know, that's what people were saying.
I got one more. It says the average U.S. worker would have to work 116 hours per week, which is 3 jobs, to afford a 2-bedroom rental. So, and you know, it's true to this because a lady out where I live at, she, you know, we was conversating. She lives in a 1-bedroom, and she has to work 3 jobs just for that 1 bedroom. And she was like, "Yo, when my lease is up here, I'm moving." You know, and she's a single woman.
I mean, you can't afford to live on your own. You gotta have multiple sources of income.
Right.
Because I mean, like the rent, your car note, groceries, you're gonna be pretty much living paycheck to paycheck.
Hey, bro. Yeah. What I got up in there now? No, I'm good. What?
So I got.
What is? What you get?
Huh?
What you get?
Well, you always get that dirty chum out
Nah.
there. You always do it?
No, I do, but I'm good. So, nothing to drink. I mean,
Give me a cookie, big bro.
Hopefully those healthy cookies.
I gotta take it. I got it. So brothers know I got it. Hey, what? I got it. His face like, man, whatever. So it says the average U.S. worker will have to work 116 hours per week, which is 3 jobs, to afford a 2-bedroom rental.
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is, it's like, you don't a little bit, you know, you be like, man, we grew up with a 2-bedroom apartment. I mean, 2-bedroom little, you had houses back in the day. We had a 2-bedroom house. I shared a room with my brother until I graduated high school almost.
Yeah.
Leave.
Yep, been there.
You know, now your sister, she the only one with her own room because she the only girl, right? Your cousin come over, he in the room with y'all 2. So what do y'all mean? Like,
feet stinking.
you don't have 3. Jake grow up and forget where you came from. You know, you got family members. They might be doing. They want to travel every quarter. Like, we didn't grow up traveling. You know, we grew up living a simple life. Eating out was a luxury. Now, why don't you keep cooking? People forget how to live just because of money.
They live above their means. You know? Because it be some people that go broke and they be like, it's really no reason for you to go broke for the amount of money that you
You know, what does one person need with 2 bedrooms? What you need all that space for? How much junk do you need?
Yeah, if I may say, the times we're living in and coming in, you have to have, we talked about this before, you got to have a minimalist. Even though you have a little.
Yeah. Shit, I got so much food in the house, I'll be like, I gotta go to the grocery store and buy some more food, but I ain't even use the food I got. Protein powders. Oh, yeah, you see this Instagram thing? I gotta get this protein powder now. You ain't you. So people, you know, I ain't working 130 hours for a 2-bedroom. That's a dub.
I might add too, you got a lot of older adults with families moving back in with their parents.
Yep.
They should have been there with their parents. Yeah, if I could, I live with my mom right now. You know what I mean? You know, live with them. Nice little house. If we had a house, I would move in with the family.
Yeah, in the ancient world, your children would be set up with an inheritance.
Yeah.
You get of age and you earn it, they send you on your way. You know?
Yeah. That ain't the case now. Everybody, what is a single family home? Who does that benefit? A single family home? Now I need 3 generations in that house. You know? You got it, bro. Bring it up.
It's Revelation chapter 6, going to the point. Revelation 6, I'll start at 5. It says, and when he had opened the 3rd seal, I heard the 3rd beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him, balances in his hand. Yep, Revelation 6 and 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny.
Yeah, measure of wheat for a penny. A penny is speaking about the Roman denarius. I was gonna say denarius. Sustainable for a man with a moderate appetite. You know,
Yep.
It's hyperinflation is coming. You know, so it's a measure of wheat for a penny. Go ahead, brother.
Yep. Revelation 6 and 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, measures of barley for a penny.
Yep. So basically, a day's wage, you know, is what's going to cost for you to eat your meal. And now, you go out to eat, you know, you go get burger and fries. You're going to spend $20. Most people make $20 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So what? You're $20. That's 1 hour of my life right there. You know, Starbucks. All right, you go get your Starbucks. You might get a treat, which you could treat yourself. $11. Damn, that's 45 minutes of my shift right there. Like that movie In Time with Justin Timberlake, that's real. That's basically how we live in. Most people only wake up with a day, you know, worth of income. You know, if they don't go to work that day, they're hurting. That's why people are going to work sick, you know, sleepy.
Yeah.
You can't afford to call out.
It's funny. I saw this guy where I live at. You know, he was coming out. I was like, "Oh, what's up, man?" He's like, "Going to work," but you could tell he ain't feel good. But he can't miss. And he was going to his second job, not his main job.
You know why he's sick? He's not working his body. That's why a lot of people don't realize that. You know, they go on the grind. I'm about to work overtime, and then they get sick. Like, oh man, I'm missing all this work because I'm sick. You got sick because you was overworking. Where article, people are taking vacation just to catch up on sleep.
Oh yeah.
So people are here and they really just staying home.
My supervisor took a vacation and he didn't want to take it. His wife was like, "We took a vacation." They just went down to the beach, Wilmington. $2 G's.
$2,000.
$2 G's.
Wilmington.
I said, more quiet.
I'd rather be around Jake.
I mean, I get it. I get it. I get it.
But yeah, I mean, it's a bad.
Right.
Read that Revelation 6 again.
It's Revelation 6 and verse 6. And I heard a voice of barley for a penny.
Yep. And if you look at the inflation report, you know, Donald Trump promised that he was going to bring down inflation.
Mm-hmm.
It's been on the slow uptick.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been coming down because, you know, they'll say we beat inflations, but expectations, inflation is going to rise. You know, so okay, we came in as expected, as it rises.
Right.
You know, but yet they want to cut interest rates. You know, so these big tech jobs, they can, you know, keep earnings coming in. You know, and you know, this economy is through. The average consumer doesn't matter anymore economically. That's
Right.
what they literally came out with a report. There's 700 billionaires in the United States. 700 billionaires. And most of them are small, tiny hats. The average tiny hat is sitting with, tiny top is sitting with like 4 to 7 billion. You know what I mean? Just easy. 4 to 7 billion, it was like like 100 of them niggas. There's 700 of them. Here in the
Yeah, they could.
If America could be healed, they could fix America alone.
yeah, I mean, think about it. 50 states, 700 billion. Let's divide them up, and you know,
1 billion a state.
that's more than 1 billion. That's
No,
like
no, I'm saying just if they was to give this
14 billionaires per state, if I'm mapping it right. You know?
That's why for that new guy, that new governor of New York, is it the mayor that beat out Cuomo?
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people are, right?
50, you posted something about that.
Yeah. So and like 2% or something like that, or more than what they're being taxed. It's just gonna take the businesses out. They're gonna move them business somewhere else, and then who's gonna get that squeeze? The middle class people. See, these people don't.
You can't tax the rich in New York. It's
businesses too.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. You can't tax the rich. You know? They're already being taxed.
Yeah.
How much do you think it is to rent those businesses out? How much do you think that lease is?
Well,
And people live in closets in New York. You know, they live in jail cells. They're in jail. You go to work every day. You live in a closet. You share a bathroom with everybody in your building. You share a shower. How? And things are only going to get worse as inflation increases. Your buying power is going to continue to diminish. But let's go. If you have anything, can we Ecclesiastes 12? Do you have something to bring up?
Yeah, we didn't finish. It wasn't.
Oh, finish. Sorry, I thought that was it.
Oh, you going
It
to
was like
Ecclesiastes 12?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
There's Revelation 6. I'll just read again. In verse 6, and I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil in the wine.
Yeah, the oil in the wine represents this truth. You know, you don't want to, you know, because this oil in the wine that we have, it's preserving us.
Right.
It actually has worth. It actually has value to it. Right? This fiat currency where you just print money out of thin air, that doesn't have any true value. Paper doesn't have value.
Right.
Oil, wine, right? This knowledge, right? This precious resource that we have, you know, isn't going to be diminished. isn't going to lose its value. It's actually going to gain in value because assets go up as inflation rises. So asset prices go up as inflation rises. So if you have and you kept up with that house, so you got to keep up with this knowledge. You got to keep up with it. You got to constantly sharpen your sword. You got to stay on point. You can't just let it, oh, I got it,
Point. That's a spiritual example of it. The oil and wine. In physical terms, that's more so luxury items.
Right.
So here it is with the elites, like you said about asset prices, with the dollar going down and inflation going up, their portfolios get bigger. The house that they bought for $100,000 now is worth $500,000. Because why? Because they weren't affected. They actually profit off of inflation. While the poor, because you read up about the black horse, it pretty much means bad times and pretty much the scales.
Yep.
It means it's controlled. The balance is in his hand. Esau doing this on purpose, man.
Yep.
So that he benefits and the poor suffer. It says a measure of wheat. Wheat is nutritious. Barley is less nutritious. So that means now you have to. It says 3 measures of barley for a penny. So now you go to the store. You can't get the organic. Now you can get the regular, ordinary brand instead of the Fruit Loops. You get the Fruity Loops. That's what the decision that the poor have to do.
Yeah.
While the elites, their lifestyles have not been diminished.
Right.
And the least, man, they're still going on trips. They got still. Private jets.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yep. So their captains still getting their salary, on standby, at whatever airport to park their shit. That costs how many thousands of dollars a month,
right,
just in case they want to go somewhere. They're not affected by this, because it's what the squeeze is about. Like I said, it's about separation of the haves and the have-nots. It's easy to control without there being a middleman. The middleman is the middle class, man. That the middle class is the enemy of Esau's agenda, man.
Yep. Right. And he's socialized you in society to hate the middle class. The average poor, the poor hate the middle class, and the middle class hate the poor.
Yep.
But my boy Andrew Tate, y'all are all poor. Because he was on top of the world at one time. Everybody knew this guy. But yet this nigga was getting out. He was trying to have a beachside view in Dubai. Nigga said, "Get up, you gotta go. You can't afford my rent."
I said in the Bible before about the rich, many helpers, these bailouts. You don't get bailed out, by big banks, by the central bank. When you catching hell, you be lucky to get a loan, man.
Yep.
To be able to afford your lifestyle, your groceries and stuff.
Yeah, you got this new company, OpenAI. Them niggas are in debt, and they're getting bailed out by all these. You got a dream, you got a vision of what you want to build in the world. Here you go. We'll just give you more money. Go do it. But they don't care about what you want to do. You're feeding your families. They don't care about that.
Yep.
I got it. This is Sirach 13 and 22. It says, when a rich man falleth, he have many helpers. He speaketh things not to be spoken, yet men justify him.
Yeah, this dude, Elon Musk.
He got a pay raise.
Yeah, he got $1 trillion payout for his company. $1 trillion.
That's crazy.
And his business is failing.
Yep.
But they funded him that $1 trillion because they believe in his vision.
Mm-hmm.
This dude, he couldn't do it with all the money he got before. Now we need more money. Those are it's designed this way. There's plenty of resources in the earth to go around. You know what I mean? Plenty of resources. Niggas is just finding gold in Utah. Jake woman, she got some land. There's oil in her land.
Mm-hmm.
There's riches everywhere in the world. But yet they say there's not enough.
just back to your point, it was a Edomite couple. They went somewhere in the West and dug up some type of large rock, and it was like over $2-3 million, and got it appraised.
Well, you know, the shit that Esau does is you have to have mineral rights to claim that. You own the house, but you don't own the shit under the house. Yep. So Esau can come and say, hey, you don't own the shit under here. This is mine. Yep. That's what he does, man. Yep. That's that scant measure. It says in Micah, the 6th chapter, that leanness, those practices that Esau does, you know, is for you to lose, man. He makes rules for you. You don't follow the rules, man. He gets bailouts. He has bad spending habits, and he gets bailed out. You get bad spending habits, you get a bad credit score. You know? Now get good luck getting a good APR on your car loan. You know? Esau spent billions of dollars. He don't do nothing. It's all speculative. He didn't do nothing. He said, I'm going to do this, and everybody throw money at him. Yep. You know? You try to do something, you know, is that one dick that takes plastic and makes it gas. They're going to off him, man. I'm never going to see that guy.
Yeah, he turns into diesel.
Yeah, but he don't get no, he gets funding, you know, but not as far as these big companies do, because that plays against their agenda, man. Look at all these goddamn cars. That goes back to Rockefeller, man.
Yeah.
Standard Oil.
Because right now they have what they call the eVTOL market. With that guy, with that Jake, you know, because they're saying that's the new stage in aviation. But what that Jake is doing, that could be the new stage in, you know, a car manufacturer. We don't gotta go electric. You know what? Let's just go back to creating diesel, and let's get that ocean of plastic out. Let's get that. We have an abundance of plastic. Let's reuse that, because everything technically is reusable, and everything the Heavenly Father, you can reuse it. Like say, oh, it's non-biodegradable. It could be broken down again. It's elements. Everything is renewable. Everything is renewable energy. So what that Jake is literally doing, it could be revolutionary. It could start a whole new age of how we deal with transportation.
And just like with the dudes that figured out how to run cars off the water, they got killed. You know?
He got killed in that mass. He got to be in that mass thing that happened in New York, didn't he?
It was actually 2 people, I think, that kind of figured it out.
Yeah, a couple people figure things out on their own. I thought it was one dude who was driving a flying car in his yard.
You see that? You got a dude in a car, she got an arm out looking back like this. Damn.
There's a show called Blacklist, and they have hitmen where they'll kill people that have these inventions and steal their patents, man, so that it never comes out, you know, because that'll be bad business to their company plan, man. That's how you saw it.
Yeah, but if they were smart, they would snatch them people up, because people like that is useful. That could come up with ideas like that. You know, hey, we need to put this guy on the team. He could figure some shit out. You know, but they want to instead and take their idea.
Yeah, because it really doesn't go with their technocracy. You know, it really doesn't go with them, because that guy might have a moral compass that doesn't align with them. You know, because they want they are doing that with these smart Ishmael and these smart heathens that come, Elon, that can do the coding.
Exactly.
You know, that we're in chocolates everywhere.
Make bombs.
Nothing goes to waste for this guy.
Operation Paperclip. He didn't do away with them Nazi scientists. Right. He grabbed them up and made them on their team, because it's all about his agenda. You know,
that's right.
Finish it out. Sirach 13:22 says, and yet men justify him, the poor man slippeth, and yet they rebuke him. 2, he spake wisely.
Yeah, the poor man slipped. Like they ridicule him. They look down upon him. You had a Jake woman. You know, she's doing bad right now, and she's fat. You know, it is what it is, right? She looks like a. She's crying that she hasn't eaten in a while, and people are like, she could miss a few meals. It's just like, all right, let it be you though. Let you have to miss a few meals. And people don't realize, well, wait a minute, why is Elon getting $1 trillion when the government shut down? You know, what was a self-driving car gonna do for me right now? You know, why don't those investors put that $1 trillion, you know, into something that's gonna help the people?
Right.
Feed the people with that $1 trillion.
You know.
It says, and could have no place, verse 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, And look what he saith, they extol it to the clouds, but if a poor man speak,
This nigga Elon, he tries to, say he works all these hours and stuff. You know, someone was like, asked Elon like, well, what made you, what made you? And he said, I have this mindset that I just never want to quit.
right,
You know what I mean? People have said that,
right,
but you should have seen the dude's face, the interviewer, his face. He was like, yeah, like you know what I mean? That's amazing right there. That's something so profound.
right.
It plays into that agenda, the technocracy. You listen to your experts. You don't have to think. We'll think for you. This is what we do.
Right.
Don't worry and use your brain cells to think outside the box. We got you covered, man.
Right.
You got your Elon Musk. You got your Bill Gates, and so on and so forth. With these characters that come up and show themselves to be important, man. And that goes back to, especially with Jake, because that's what they cry for, a king.
Yep.
It's the same mentality. We want a king. We want to be like the heathen. We want somebody to rule over us. And that's how they are with these figureheads.
Yeah, if I may say, you had member of the gates of hell.
Yep.
He said we should cut down the trees.
Oh yeah.
He said we should cut down the trees,
Yeah.
and then when the guy who was interviewing, he said, "Is that smart? Is that wise?" People, or are we the idiots? Saying that the people that don't agree with us, you're the idiots. We're the science people. We know what we're talking about, and you guys are the idiots. It's absolute madness.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
They step on the little guy. Because why? Because again, what happens is, again, they put these guys on God level status, and they start worshiping them, man, whether you know it or not, man. Yep. All this stuff, these logos, man, the stuff that you see with your eyes, man, that all goes to idols, man. Yep.
You're talking about, okay, all of these, the government assistance and all this that the people get, the working class get. That gets funneled right back to the elites. They're using that money for food to keep the Walmarts open, so Walmart can keep their margins higher.
Right.
If they didn't get those government assistance, then the Walmarts would have to shut down. They couldn't open up as many, and they couldn't be as profitable. So it's all just funneled back. It's not like it's actually helping the little guy. It's just keeping the system going before people just out here bugging out because there's not enough to go around.
Right. When there's plenty.
Yeah, when there's plenty.
Yep.
Nigga said, here goes your allowance for the month.
That's what's coming to.
Make sure you spend this at my store.
Yeah, that's that program digital.
Yeah.
And I got a comment about the poor man. A poor man can be invisible in plain sight because nobody really pays attention to the poor man. When you think a poor man sees things that a lot of people don't, because poor people around and they watch it, and not to mention, sometimes they don't do nothing but watch. You gotta think, if a poor man is standing in one location constantly and daily, he could map out everything, and know where things at, know which way to go, know which way not to go, but sometimes, people disregard, just like the script say, when the poor man speaketh, they disregard him.
Yeah, there's one that says, I think it's like verse 24 in that chapter. Actually, President, where that script say, man, through his wisdom, deliver the city. Yeah. But it started 19.
Hey, that poor man, he'll know the ins and outs of that city. He'll know ways that the rich people don't. The poor man will know the underground.
Wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city.
Yeah, wisdom is really where strength lies. Because everybody is out here chasing the dollar, and you've seen that it's failing them. And the race is rigged, so what do you need to get? he can oppress his will upon you, right? That's why, there's a thing known as willpower. These niggas with money, they can exhort, their willpower is long. The power to exhort their will, and that's why we understand everyone is subject to the will of the Heavenly Father, because who has more resources than the omnipotent, the omnipotent, right? Yahweh, right? He is, right? And Yahweh Shai being his express image, right? So you have men with power that can beat you down, right? That's why we're out here giving our people the most valuable thing, the thing that people can't take away, nor can they give it, wisdom that coming from on high. Now jump to the 9th chapter and read the 15th.
Then a poor wise man.
You can really start at 12.
Okay.
And we'll just read on down.
This is Ecclesiastes 9 and 12. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time.
That's right, but prudent man perceiveth the evil and hideth himself. The sons of men, right? They're snared in the evil time. When what?
When it shall falleth suddenly upon them.
When it falleth suddenly upon them, because they're stuck in the rat race. They're in the hamster wheel, not knowing that this is an experiment, put on by the government, right? The powers that be, I should say, the nobility of Edom, right? To wear you out, to keep you powered. That hamster wheel you're on is powering the light bulb in that house. They need you to keep going, and eventually they're gonna replace that hamster with a robot hamster, and that nigga's gonna power. And we're gonna get him with water. You got the little water in the little hamster house. They gonna give the robot the water, because these data centers, they take up a lot of resources of the earth. And Esau is such an idiot, and really his land is drying up so much that they're forced. I don't know if they're forced or if they're doing it on purpose, because I don't know this man on, but they're putting these data centers where there's already a low income of water. So what is that going to do to the earth? It's going to dry it up even more. So either this man is an idiot or he's running low on land. You got it, bro.
Verse 13, this wisdom have I seen also under the sun, and it seemed great unto me.
And just to go back on those data centers, the big ones can consume up to 1 million gallons a day, bro. That's a lot of water. And they put it, the land is drying up, so they put it where, there's a stream of water going, and they'll intercept that water. To where the people live, right? So, and that's crazy. I think this dude Jensen Wong just came out. They want to build 7 more supercomputers, and a supercomputer is the size of a building, bro. It's not a small computer. Computing power, it takes resources to power that thing. Go ahead, bro. And these are the evil times that are coming. This is what's going to cause even more scarcity of food. I saw an article talking about how farmers need to stop lying about the price of beef. When you talk to a local farmer, the price of beef is going up. There's a scarcity of beef. So it's not like they're price gouging. It's that there's actually not there's not as much anymore. J.D. Vance came out and said that, the vice president. You got it, bro.
Verse 14, there was a little city, and few men within it. Mm-hmm. And there came a great king of
Here you got your little community going on, right? And a great king said, "Nah, we want those resources," and that's basically what's going on in these cities today. Little communities to where you got the middle class. They're paying the taxes. They're keeping the city going. They're funneling the money back into the city, right? But now this great king has said, "Nah, I want those resources." You know, and because these people don't have any wisdom, you know, they don't really have any power, they can't overcome this man. Because you gotta get wisdom from on high. Because that's this man's dealing with his stargazers, his monthly prognosticators, his enchantments that he's pushing out on the people is wearing these people down.
I was just looking up something in the war in Nigeria, the stuff that's going on. And we saw my earlier, you know, Esau, it's really about the resources, what's really in there.
Yeah, in Nigeria,
a lot of oil. That's what Esau's. That's what he's fighting with South America with too.
Brazil, right?
Yeah, America's out of oil.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because they gave a lot of their oil to China because they gotta keep diplomacy behind this. There's diplomacy going on behind the scene, and America's giving away their resources. When you watch that movie, All Wars Are Bankers' Wars. Yep. These niggas have been giving their land away.
I was thinking about that
since like the 50s.
Yep.
It's like, wait a minute, you've been broke since the 50s?
Yep.
And it's about to be a world war. So, you know, they gotta snatch up the resources they need in order to go to war. And oil is important.
Yep.
I'm gonna bring up like 2 more. Okay, bro, keep reading.
Verse 15. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city, yet no man remembered that same poor man.
That's right. You know, it's going to deliver us. You know, and it seems like the world has forgotten him. Right? But we're being put back into remembrance. Right? So a poor man's wisdom, because he's poor, is he's insignificant. You know, there's a lot of parables. You know, you have this, you know, you have the project. You got plenty of old heads in the project that know, like, nah, this isn't the way. And they give that wisdom, you know, don't do that. You know, but they're poor. Their wisdom is despised because they're poor. Right? Now this is how things. I was literally driving today, like driving on the highway. It's just like, man, I could set up these highways better than these niggas done did it. You know, to where there's not traffic, where things flow.
Of course.
You know?
But it's all about money with this devil.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have everybody go off at the same time. Accidents, insurance, all that's coming all back to me. You know?
That's been proven with these lights. You know, sitting at lights for long.
Yep.
Car being idle to waste gas.
Yep.
So why you go and get your gas filled up in?
Yeah, because I saw an architect. He created a highway that you never stop on.
See?
You never have to stop at the light.
See?
And traffic just flows.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not that hard. You know, but it's all set up. That's why they show you in like a futuristic movies where it'd be like they show you in that movie Robots. You know, it's a animated movie where they were on the speedway and everything was
one?
the pixel.
Yeah.
Everybody was just going. No one ever stopped.
Right.
He's like, this is what we created. And it's like, yeah, you could literally create a system like that, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
He does things quick, cheap. You know what I mean? These cars, the newer cars cheaper than the older ones. Plastic. What happened to the metal cars?
Yep.
You know, the American diesel.
Right.
You know, you got them whack ass Chevys.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was a deal. Fords were pieces of shit. It was a deal why they made it the American truck.
Yeah, it's sourced in America.
Yeah. But it was more to it, but yeah.
Line, all that stuff, yeah, bro. There's always more to it. It's based off capitalism. Yeah. You brothers got it.
Right.
Yeah, that's a little bit more, right?
Yeah. Verse 16. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard.
His words are not heard. His words are not knowledge. You know, people aren't asking the everyday consumer, like, hey, let's take a survey. You know, people aren't going to survey. How can we fix the economy? How can we do this? How can we do that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, people. All right, let's filter out all the BS. All right, these are some good ideas. Let's do that. People aren't doing that because you're poor. What do you know?
Right.
You know.
Let's get some prophecy. You know anything, Mike? Yeah, we're going from there.
It's Luke chapter 9, Luke 9 and 62. It says, and Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High. Okay. I'll read again. Luke 9 and 62, and Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High. And you go into the example about remembering Lot's wife. The Lord said, in Matthew 24th chapter, remember Lot's wife, because what? She was stuck, what was behind her. It is the Lord's command us to come out of her, my people. Maybe be not partakers of her plagues. Like it says in Micah, this world's going to lead you with a sword of destruction. Unless you separate yourself, Well, same in these times, especially in these times, man. So we're going in specifics about putting a hand to the plow, being the worker. Whether you know it or not, when you came to this thing, where the Lord allowed you to, you made a vow. Someone get that. Deuteronomy 23 and 21.
Yeah, Ecclesiastes 5 and like 7 or 8.
That's the other one, yeah. Yep. But when you came to this truth, you vowed that you're going to endure unto the end, man. And that it don't matter what time frame the Lord had for you to be in this truth, man. Look at our apostles' nails on down, man. They know they vowed a vow to the end. They're not saying this, they keep pushing, man. You got it? You said 23, 21? Yeah.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 23 and 21. When thou shalt vow a vow unto the Lord thy power, thou shalt not slack to pay it.
Yep, should not be slack to pay it. Again, we came to the knowledge, the Lord gave you a talent, okay? Whatever that talent may be, you're supposed to increase. You might not be a prophet, okay? But it don't matter. You have the knowledge of Yahweh Shai. If you're not bearing fruit, remember the example of what Yahweh Shai did with that fig tree. He cursed it. And what happened? It withered, man. And the spirit left it, So that's the same with you, man. You have this knowledge, you're not doing nothing with it. You're an Israelite, but you're still, smoking weed, being a nigga, robbing, stealing, being sin. You're supposed to continue on to the end, man. You're supposed to pray Lord's will. But remember, this blood in, blood out, man. When you hear it, as soon as that word touches your ear, man, Yahweh said, if I had not come, they had not sinned. All right? Because if you keep reading, it's sin unto you, at least you pay that vow, man. Go ahead.
For of thee.
Yep. Say, I didn't know. That's what Jake love to do. When he get caught on some shit, he say, I don't know. He throw the hands up. I ain't know. But again, you with this knowledge, you're supposed to know better, man. The Lord said about the servant that knew the master's will and did it not. You're going to receive what? More stripes. So it's a scary thing. You read about that in Hebrews 4. Hebrews 4 and 1. Let us therefore fear. These are promises being left onto us. Any of us who come short of it. It's about finishing. With anything you finish, man. It's not about how you start. We'll probably grab that better at the end of the thing. In the beginning thereof, it's better to finish than to start, man. We're going to count the cost, to finish that.
And it would be sin in thee.
Yep, so it's going to be sin in you. What is the wage of sin? Death, man. So if you don't pay that value to the Lord, Yahweh Shai, okay, you're going to die, man. We read earlier about not everyone that says unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom. We're not here to do bare minimums, man. Just floating to get by, man. Just hanging around, all right? That don't get you nowhere, man. That don't equal greatness, Yahweh Shai, and what was Yahweh Shai doing, man? He was locked into the work, man. Different times. We are in 2025, shit is different. You can't walk to your neighbor's house and lounge there. Dude might not even have a bed, man. They don't barely have shit to lay on, man. But in the ancient world, the Lord told us take nothing and go out and preach. We can't do that, man. We gotta go to work, But still no excuses, man. You got that Ecclesiastes?
Yep, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 4. When thou vowest a vow unto Yahweh, defer not to pay it.
Yep, defer not to pay it. Meaning when the Lord come and check you, say, hey, where's my increase? What you been doing with my talent? You know, you got no answer. The Lord will call you a wicked servant, man. You know, again, being slack, being lazy. The Lord gave you a job, man, to go out in the field and work. What Jake do? He hang around in the shade, man. You know, drinking the juice, man. What? Drinking lemonade in the shade.
For he hath no pleasure in fools. Pay that which
To the end. Okay, no matter what, you know. Again, we pray the Lord be with us. But again, when you come to this thing, you have to know what you're involved in, man. And it's a learning process. You know, even me. I'm not talking like I figured this shit out. I got this shit locked down. Buy my starter pack. No, man. It's not too swift. You want to grab that? It's not too swift. It's about endurance, man. You know, things that are not so glamorous and popular, like grit. You know, grit. You know what I'm saying? You can't buy grit. You know, everybody want to be, you know, shine, knight in shining armor, but nobody wants to get in the mud. Nobody wants to do the hard stuff. Everybody want to be cute. You want to look cute. You know, that's what the Lord got on the wicked skies and Pharisees about, man. You make the outward garment all shiny, you know, but then when you're dead man's bones, man, you ain't right, man. You know.
better is it that thou sittest not vow than that thou sittest vow and not pay.
Better you have not vowed, man. Better you just have not known, it's good to say. You know? Better if you have not known the word of Yahweh than to hear it and not do it, man. Or to fall back.
Once you hear this word, you murked. You know? Let the brother get it into you murked. Hearing this word, you gotta pick a side now. Well, actually, your side is chosen for you. You know, once you get to predestination. But yeah, you know.
And he'll say on God after, you know, or on baby, or whatever the fuck Jake say, on King David. Jake say all this stupid shit on my mama, you know. And the angels hear it, they go like, man, the contract here. You know what I'm saying? You put your hand to that plow. You agreed, you said con, you know. God is merciful. Get that, and then get Luke 13. There's a parable about a fig tree being pricked. Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 8. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof.
Yep, and you read in the NLT, it says better is to finish than to start. It's better to finish than to start. If, you know, this is hard for you, you know, turning onto Yahweh Shai, you know, enduring the afflictions, trying to be righteous in the wicked world, you know, going through certain stuff that the Lord doesn't try you. If that's hard now, then you probably should just quit while you're ahead, man. You know, because it's only going to get harder. You know, the Lord said about being a good soldier. You're not up here saying that, you know, we just some high and mighty guys. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't cry. Shit hard out here too, man. But the point is that you have to finish, man. So there's no excuse. Go ahead.
And the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit.
Better is to be patient than to be proud. Better is to wait and suffer than to take a bag, you know, a cop out, you know, a plea deal, right? Because why? Because at the end of that deal, destruction, man. Look what happens to Jake and our people that sell short and sell out. They get in a worse case condition than they were before, man. Jake got nails painted. He was the hardest nigga on the block. Now he got nails painted and his hair is purple. You know, that's what happens with the industry. It turns you out, man. You know, just for what? For a temporary situation, man, which is borrowed. A lot of times with these what they call them, 360 deals, Jake, he get a lump sum of bread that he got to pay back. It's really just a loan, man. And if you don't pay it, that's why these niggas get deleted. So-and-so dead. Because at the little fine print, if you don't pay, you die. You know what I'm saying? It's some lawyer language jargon that you don't know what the fuck that shit means. Oh shit, yeah, like the Drewski shit. Could have been records, you know. He be joking, but it's true, man. He said, this sign is so here. Everything is mine. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. I said, what? I lose my leg or something? To fear Yahweh Shai, that is wisdom. So us fearing the Lord and taking the L now, hey man, we're gonna get eternal victory, man. You know, which you can't put a price on. Get that loop. You got that loop? Is there more in there?
Let's about it. Well,
Let's see.
He spake also this parable. A certain man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard.
Yep, so think of this as you. All right, go ahead.
And he came and sought fruit therein, and found none. Unto the dresser of his vineyard, behold, these 3 years I come seeking fruit on this fig tree, and find none.
Yep, so think about that. You've been in this troop amount of years, and you're not bearing no fruit. You've been in this thing a year, 2 years, 3 years, and you haven't learned from your mistakes. You're not increasing in the faith. You're not growing in grace. You know, again, still doing the same folly, simplicity, bullshit that you were doing in the world. That old man, you know, what do you think the Lord is going to do, man, when He sees that, man? Go ahead.
Cut it down.
He said, cut it down, man. Right? The Lord's going to start hewing you down, man. You know, it means the Spirit's going to start leading you, man. You know, and that's a terrible thing. Did not King David say, take not thy Holy Spirit from me? All those stuff that King David had to deal with because, you know, what he did, you know, because of his sin, he said, do anything you want to me, but don't take the Spirit from me, man. Because the Spirit can bear your infirmities. Born the Spirit, who can't, man? You know, when you cut to the core, man, and you in despair, and the Spirit's gone, man, you're just an empty vessel. You see the eyes, the bags on the eyes, eye colors all black.